Hi everyone, this is Alicia Marcus Barong from Guided Choices, a life coaching therapist, hypnotherapist, creator of Chatter Girls, a powering program for young girls. And I am very much wanting to empower you and your friends and your children to know that they have the power within themselves. That's my goal, to teach you how to be empowered, to be able to let go of the past, be clear, take the opportunities. So we've been talking about the choices method for a couple days. We've done clarity, healing, opportunity. Today we're going to talk about identity. And this one's a really important one for me because I really don't know that I knew who I was, what I needed to be about until probably my 40s. I did a number of different things, and all of them, when I was doing them, I was passionate about them, but they never really fit. So, learning who you are is a really, really important challenge. So, sometimes we're put in the category of being mom, dad, daughter, all different things, son, but our identity has to come from within. So today I want to talk about how do you get there. And I'll explain that through my own challenges of how I got there, and some of the tools that I've used to be able to really figure it out. I wrote a book called Changing the Chatter for Moms and Daughters. And as I wrote it, I was shared a lot about myself. I was not the girl who was the smartest in class. I was not the girl who was good at sports. I was the girl with big, thick glasses who walked down the halls and was terrified daily of what was in front of me. I wanted to be something else, but I didn't feel like that. I usually felt like I was about this big. And on a good day, it was still this big. So as life changed for me, as I graduated from high school and moved on, my life changed considerably. It ended up being a lot about my family, and my family went through a divorce at that time. And so I really didn't know where I was going. I chose a career that really didn't fit me, but it was one that I needed to make a living. I then chose a husband who wasn't the right husband, but gave me 2 wonderful children, and I'll never regret that part of it. But we weren't a match, and so we worked really hard at the relationship, off and on, and realized it wasn't where we needed to be. But who I felt like was still this big. My identity was this person. I just didn't feel like I was making an impact on anything I did. I became a youth minister in the Catholic Church, and that was an important part for me because I loved working with youth, whether it was junior high or high school. And that was very fulfilling. And I had a passion about it, but I wanted more. And so I did that for a while, and then I had the opportunity to then take on a role of a diocesan role, which was a bigger position, to work with other people to teach them how to be youth ministers and to help and to do all kinds of things for youth in all different kind of parishes. And that was still okay. And my identity was youth minister, working with kids. And that felt good, and I had a passion about it, but I still was facing the fact was I was never good enough, and I wasn't going to ever be good enough. And I spent my time in therapy trying to deal with different issues and things that were happening. I was a mom at that point, so I was responsible for 2 people. That was part of my identity at that point. Trying to be the best mom possible with very, very little knowledge of what it meant to be a mom. So I made a lot of mistakes. And I imagine that a lot of you out there make those mistakes. I was lucky that my kids grew up and ended up being really cool adults. And now they're really cool parents. And I hope that they learned something from me, because I learned a lot from them. I learned that it was okay to be me, but I still was challenged. I chose another person in my life who was abusive, because that's what I thought I was supposed to have. I thought I didn't have any value. And with no value, I was always wrong. And I continued to hear that message in my mind. And I had heard it most of my life. You messed up at school, you messed up at home, you messed up with this, you didn't do this right, you didn't do that right. And I still felt like this. And I was out there trying to get a master's degree to be able to counsel people. I began helping women in halfway houses and helping kids in rehab centers. I was helping people change their lives, but I was still searching, and I was searching with pain. It came upon a time where I ended up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I spent a lot of time trying to find out who I was. And part of that involved going to hypnosis school. And so those things that I kept on carrying with me, I was learning that I could let go of them, but I had to learn to let go of them in a deeper part of me, my subconscious mind. And that there was more to who I was, and that I really had brought value to other people. I just couldn't accept it. So my identity had stopped, but I was relooking. And I spent a number of years relooking. I continued a career. I lived in Santa Fe for a while, and then I moved to San Diego. And I became a life coach. I taught hypnosis. I was a hypnotherapist. And I was beginning to see that my identity was not based on a man, my children, my job. It was based on who I wanted to be inside. And I began to change, and I began to see that I had value to the world, and I had something to give. And no, it wasn't a straight road, but it was a road that needed to be walked. Now, I have many other adventures during this time, but the most important thing I learned was that there are tools out there for all of us to figure out who we are. We don't have to be who other people say we are. We have to be who we are from our heart. So when I talk about identity, I talk about who are you on your journey. And if you can't decide and figure that out, then you need to do some work. I love working with people when they figure out who they are, not based on everybody else, but based on what's coming from their heart, what they want to do. Empowerment is a very important part of my life because I didn't learn it until I was older. I'm excited about my life now because I'm empowering young girls, empowering women, boys, no matter what their challenges are. I'm teaching them that the power is within themselves and that there are tools out there that they can learn. I'd love to be your empowerment coach to help you through high school or grade school or college, or help you as a woman who's getting ready to move forward in her life, starting a new business or a new life. I want to be able to empower you now, not when you're 40 like I was, but now. Now is the time. You have the opportunity to look at the choices method and let me help you go on this path. As you heard, it's been a hard path, but I have survived. And through that, I chose the right person to be my partner in life. I have a wonderful husband. And he has supported me in helping me recognize and continue to know that I have a special gift to serve. My gift is to serve. What is your gift? And when you know your gift, you will begin to open the door to your identity and begin to change your life. The next letter of the choices method is another C, and it's about change. So I'm hoping that you will join me on my next YouTube to learn about change and how to have it happen. You can get a hold of me at Alicia Guided Choices. You can contact me on my webpage on www.guidedchoices.com. You have a young daughter or you love working with young girls from 8 to 14, check me out on Chattergirls. I'm here to be able to help you change and be empowered. This is Alicia Marcus Barong. Thanks for your time and have a wonderful day. Keep changing. Keep making new choices.